Hey, welcome to mabwear.bigmedia. And it's another episode, guys, of Talk Keep Them Talking, where the conversation never ends. Let me say good morning to those who might be somewhere on another continent. Good evening to those who might be a few hours ahead or behind of us. But overall, God bless to everyone that is viewing this channel as I speak. As we always say, no weapon formed against us shall prosper. And as usual, guys, I must say thanks to all the viewership that I've been receiving. Keep it coming, guys, as we build this channel. As you know, I can't do it on my own. I can only do it through your kind donations, which comes in the form of likes, shares, and subscription. As I always say, if you know me, you must subscribe. If you don't know me, subscribe anyway so that we can get to know each other. Okay, guys, so today I'll be giving my post-match analysis and breakdown of the game between the US and the Reggae boys. It might be a little different, but we have to be willing to do different things. After all, they say adventure is the spice of life. So we'll be looking at some high points and some low points in this game. Now, before I get into it, I must give a big round of applause. Let me say a big round of applause to the support that the Reggae boys received in the National Stadium. It was a matron. The patrons came out and they showed out. If I was supposed to give a ratings, I would give the patrons a 10 out of 10, right? However, one thing I didn't like is the pitch. I thought that the pitch looked a little heavy. I could be wrong, but from where I was watching it, the field looked a little heavy. You could see patches of grasses here, patches of grasses there. However, I think if we're going to hold the guys at a high standard, the pitch needs to be a little better. If we want good performances, it's hard for us to ask for these performances on a pitch like this. You understand me? Especially with players that we have who play day in and day out on pitches of higher quality. You understand me? So therefore, that was the one thing, the bad thing I would take away from the presentation. You know what I mean? But however, the fans, as I said, they came out and they showed out, and it was a good look. This is what home support should be. This is what home support look like. We look like we could rival those in South America, and those in Europe. The support was wonderful. Guys, keep it up. You're doing a good job. Let's get into the game itself. Now, we're going to look at the lineup. All right? First, we're going to look at the Reggae boys lineup. And as I can see right there on the screen, our lineup is Andre Blake, Leben Kisa, Olgate, Lowe, Bell, Lane, Demari Gray, Latibo Deer, Casey Palmer, Leon Bailey, and Shamar Nicholson. All right, so the Reggae boys came out. They started the game just as their lineup suggested, defensive. Now, let's talk a little bit about what informed the coach decision to go with a defensive lineup. Now, one of the things with me is that I listen keenly when people speak. I remember the unveiling of the coach. And one of the questions that was posed to the coach was as a regard to identity. And I remember the coach um, remarks, and he said that he believed that Jamaica's strength is in their defense. They are hard to score on. We are one of the teams he believed is very hard to score on. And so, regardless of how he was, and regardless of what the questions were, pressing to see if he would say his style would be an attacking style or what, he kept leaning on the fact that Jamaica, from what he has seen, is more of a defensive team, defensive counter attack. And so I was not surprised that he went with a defensive formation. However, the five at the back, certainly, I was surprised by that. I thought that he probably would have put five in the middle. You understand me? Which then now we could have a better way of pivoting forward. But he went with five at the back. I was not surprised at all. I listened to a lot of commentators, and it seemed as if they were mind blown by it. But as I say again, one of the reasons for this is that we don't listen to what people say. And if somebody tell you something, you must believe that that's what they believe or who they are. And he clearly, what he sees is Jamaica's identity is a defensive team, hard to score on, given the opportunity, will score on the counter, and from that you can take from that Jamaica will not be scoring a lot of goals if this is how this coach desire to play this Jamaica team. All right, cool. Now, next we want to look at the US lineup. All right, the US team lineup. Now, here it is on the screen. You can see Turner in goal. Certainly, he has been one of US mainstay in the goal. You have Robinson. You have Ream, Mackenzie, Scally. You have Teasman, Cardoza, Musaf, McKinley, Pulisic, and Pepe the lone man up front. Now, so the US, on the other hand, what their formation was a bit more adventurous. You could see the attack. You could see that they plan to pressure us with the wingers, and McKennie would play a pivot role, defense support in the attack also. So yeah, so that is the formation, that we saw. Now, the game started, and in the 4th minute, the Reggae Boys conceded. Now, let's take a look at this frame. And we're going frame by frame, guys. Frame by frame. So we're going to put on the screen now the first frame. So here we can see Pulisic receiving the ball and driving between the two midfielders, Casey Palmer on one hand, and I want to think that the other player is Latibodir. Not 100% sure. However, In the frame, we can also see the Americans having 3 attacking players, right? We see Pulisic, we can see Pepe, and we can see Musav. Now, here, I must say, what happened here was very amateur. Very amateur. I want you to take a look at Low. Low marking Pepe, right? First thing, people, I can tell you this. If you're marking a player and you cannot reach out your hand and touch that player, you're not marking that player. You are not marking that player. So start out, the player, Low was a little bit behind, too far behind Pepe. That is one thing. Secondly, he decided that instead of marking Pepe, he was going to make that charge to stop Pulisic from advancing, though he was not the closest player to the ball. Right? Now, why I said this is and I believe that this is a very amateur move by Low, who is a senior player, you understand me, in the team, and somebody who is playing day in, day out. I cannot see how he made the decision that he made, leaving the attacking player who he should go with, right? Allow Pulisic to drive and the defenders to converge on him, but yet he decided that he was going to make the tackle, left the player who he should be his marking player, to advance to the ball to stop Pulisic, and Pulisic just slipped the ball between his leg, and Pepe was out in the open, gone. One other thing I also recognize, people, when I look at this frame, is that I want to look at it. Look at it keenly. There were players in the defense who seemed quite flat-footed. The player to Low's right, who was close to the referee, if he was not flat-footed and seeing that Pulisic had the ball, and from he broke between those midfielders, he should have come back, started retreating to create some coverage. But he stood there and he just watched. And even when the ball was pushed through Low, people, if I want you to go back and I want you to watch the game, and I want you to pause the game, pause it, start it, do it frame by frame. And this is why I believe that the defense was very culpable, and they were caught flat-footed. When Pulisic made that play to Pepe, the players, firstly, the two midfielders gave up on the play from he passed them. From he passed them, they gave up. Secondly, when he played the ball through and Low was beaten, the player that was to Low's right, he did not even come across to cover. And he did not even come across to cover, right, to see if he could somehow throw off the attacking player. He ran back, but he ran back and I don't know, to be honest with you, I'm not sure what he was trying to do. It seemed as if, because Pulisic was running in his direction, he decided that should the player square the ball, he would be there to clear that up. But that is in hindsight. What he should have done, he should have come across to offer some support. You understand me? And probably that would have thrown off the player, because the goal scored And the player literally, when he kicked the ball, he didn't get a good kick. The ball hit the post, and probably if he was there, the goal wouldn't even have scored. Guys, to be honest, when I look at it, it's as if the game started and the Jamaicans were still in warm-up mode. They were not ready. You understand me? You know, players being flat-footed, you know, just looking, and the two midfielders. When you look at it, you know, when I think people is that I found quite amazing was that after Pulisic made that pass, look at this frame. Look at where he is, and look at where the two defenders are, the two midfielders, showing you that they gave up on the play. And look at where he was. He was almost in line with the defenders when Pepe struck the ball. Amazing. It amazes me, guys. Anyway, guys, so that is how we gave up that, I would say, soft goal in the 4th minute of the game. You know, it's said that the easiest time for a goal to score against you is just after you have scored a goal. And here we can see, you know, in this frame, we see Nicholson receiving the ball. And I must say it was quite exhilarating to see how he took the ball, turned unorthodoxly, turned his defender in and out, and he didn't give up on the play. He bullied his way in, and to use his IQ, his football IQ, see the goalkeeper coming, and just professionally, this for youngsters looking on. This is how you fabricate a penalty. You know what I mean? Just move the ball away from the goalkeeper, and the goalkeeper touch him on his foot, and he went down in a heap and was awarded the penalty. This was a beautiful play by Shamar Nicholson. And this happened this was in the 8th minute. So just as I said, guys, the easiest time for you to concede a goal is just when you score a goal. So here, Shamar Nicholson got the penalty, and we saw Demarai Gray stepping up to take the penalty, guys. Why was Demarai Gray taking the penalty? One might say, you know, we would have probably said the same thing had it been Leon Bailey or Shamar Nicholson who took the penalty and missed. But who said that they would miss? One thing we know for a certain is that Demarai Gray is not in any form at all. Not in any form. Confidence quite low. I thought that he made contact with the ball quite well. However, it was the penalty was not a good penalty. It was kicked too close to the goalkeeper. The goalkeeper, when you look at how he dived to his right, it's not as if he was full stretch. So the ball was too close to the goalkeeper. The ball is as if he was just saying, you know, let me just put all my power into this, you know what I mean? And as we can see, the goalkeeper saved it, a brilliant save by the goalkeeper. Now, for me, I don't know why, but probably I'm old school, you know what I mean? But for me, Shamar Nicholson did all the hard work. And he, I believe, should have been awarded the penalty himself for what he did. You know what I mean? And I feel that he coming off scoring in 2 games for his team, he's better suited and in goal scoring form And I believe that he should have been the person to kick that penalty. After that, guys, the US created a few more opportunities. The Jamaicans, they themselves also created some opportunities. Um, I saw where, and I think this was, and I go back again to Demari Gray. I believe that this player needs some time to find his form. I don't think that he should just be given the opportunity to play without merit. I understand that most of the players who were playing were either coming off injury or they themselves were just trying to find their foot, and some of them were not in the form that they used to be in. But Demar Gray has been playing consistently, and he has not been giving us anything at all. He has been totally unproductive. And when I say unproductive, I mean even in the area of even trying to get down to the byline and creating some telling squares, teasing squares. He's unable to do even that. And so I believe that going into the next game, he should sit out. He should either come off the bench. We see where Cephas came off the bench and was much more productive than he was. Cephas came into the game and Cephas actually created an opportunity for Demari Gray. And we're going to put that on the screen right here. Look at this. You understand me? The ball came across. Cephas made a square. And Demari Gray, with the defender on his back, the defender could not have gone through him. And so all he needed to do was confidently play the ball in the goal. He just stood there, hoping that the ball would hit on him and go inside the goal. And the ball went in the opposite direction, went in a different direction. And this just shows that this player is totally out of form. And we cannot continue to use the player like that. You know what I mean? This is not doing any good for him. You understand me? Bring him off the bench, man. You know? So yeah. So in this frame, this was a beautiful corner that was played in by Leon Bailey, and it took some really brave effort by the goalkeeper to keep this out. The ball was still in play. We saw where it was played back in, and the US player used his arm to play the ball away from his goal. It was a clear cut penalty, and therefore, if we look at it from that perspective, Jamaica, probably should have been the ones who were the victors on the day. Okay, guys, so that was our post-game analysis, frame by frame. A little different. Hope you guys like it. We can't do the same thing every time. We have to add a little spice to it. So I hope that was informative. I hope you guys enjoyed that, I said before. And, just thanks for watching. Keep the likes, keep the subscription going, guys, so that we can build this brand, build this channel. So, as we always say, walk good. See you next time. Bless up.